I hate school. So let's tell some stories. I live in America, so I think this explains about the stories I'm about to tell. So when I was in middle school, there was a kid on Snapchat who kept saying that he was gonna shoot the school. Oh, so what did the school do? They brought in metal detectors and checked everyone's backpack before we came into school. But the kid who said that he was gonna shoot the school wasn't from our school. They would just be checking us for a day and wouldn't find anything because none of us were the ones who was threatening to shoot the school. So obviously kids weren't going to school because there was threats about a school shooting, and it was happening for like 4 days, but it never happened. Like, it was on Snapchat and it was just this post being like, I'm gonna shoot this school on this day, and then the day would come and he would be like, nah, I'm gonna do it on this other day, and he wouldn't do it. So, and then he'd just be like, I'm gonna do it at the end of the week, but never happened. So the boys in my school were thinking that it was this one kid from a different school that they played against in football, and their team lost, so they were mad at our school. But I'm honestly like not sure what happened after, if they found the kid or not. But the threats did stop, so we didn't have to deal with that anymore. But later that year, a kid took a gun to school and pointed it to the camera. Like, yeah, it's a great idea to show up with a weapon to a public school and just show it up to the camera. Like, on that day, there was an announcement where they were telling us that everything was fine and we didn't have to worry about anything, which was suspicious. Like, we just thought something happened at that point. We didn't know what, but obviously something happened if they're gonna tell us that nothing's wrong. So, after these incidents, lots of parents didn't trust the school and didn't let their kids go to the school. I mean, I think that's fair. Threats about a school shooting and then a kid bringing a gun to the school. So I would understand if parents wouldn't want to take their kids to that school because obviously it's not the best school to be at. But getting threats and a kid actually bringing a weapon on the school campus. And not only that, there was a shooting really close by to that school. Well, I think that's enough about American problems from schools. At that school, there was really strict teachers that forced us to wear IDs, but there was a very few amount that didn't even care about it. And I always wore mine until it broke. And I lost it. So I got in trouble for not having my ID because it was cheap and it broke easily. I had it on for my gym class, and we went outside and I just looked at my ID and it was gone. I had the lanyard, but the ID was gone. It was missing and I don't know where it was. So it was just lost forever. I had to go in school suspension for so many days because they couldn't afford better quality IDs for us. Literally, one time I saw a kid walking in the hall and then his ID falls off of his lanyard. So, if you lost the ID, you had to pay $5 for a new one. But I never did. And they got so tired of me not having an ID, so they just gave me one for free. I didn't buy a new one for so long because I have social anxiety and was too scared to ask for a new ID. The person who would check for our IDs literally was just like, come on, and took me to the library and told them to give me a new ID. So you might think, oh, that's so nice of him for giving you a free ID. But no, he was not nice to me. He was pretty mean, actually. So you might be thinking, well, that's a good thing to have IDs. So students could be easily identified. But my school also banned hoodies. Like, you would not be allowed to wear any sweater with a hood on it. If you wore a hoodie, it would be against the dress code. Like, what if it's cold? Well, I guess just try not to freeze. Like, the school was strict for some public middle school, But the students weren't good either. I guess they were strict because the students weren't good. There were so many fights in that school. Fights would happen everywhere. In the halls, in the cafeteria, on the stairs, outside. You just couldn't stop those kids from fighting. I was trying to get to class in the morning and there was two little kids fighting and I just kept walking and I passed them. So now there is a video of me out on the internet where two kids are fighting and I was just walking past them. There were so many fights near the end of the school year, like the very few weeks left. There were so many and it felt like there was one like every other day. And I don't know why. Maybe they thought they could get suspended for the rest of the weeks that were left of school so they didn't have to go anymore. Maybe that, or maybe they just wanted to fight people. I don't know. Like every time there was a fight, so many people would be like, "Do you have a video of the fight? Do you have a video? Do you know how I could see the fight?" People just wanted to see the fight, and I don't know why. I don't know what's so interesting about watching two middle schoolers fight, but during my 6th grade, we had a 5-minute passing period. But in 7th grade, they changed that 5 minutes to 3 minutes. Only 3 minutes for passing period. And I had two classes that were at the opposite sides of the building. They were the furthest classes from each other. And I only had 3 minutes to get there. And it's so hard walking at the halls with couples making out in the middle of the hallway. Like, we were in middle school and you're just there kissing in the middle of the hallway. There was also so many slow walkers. Thankfully, many students and their parents complained, so they changed our 3 minutes to 4 minutes. Like, thank you so much. The usual passing period is 5 minutes, but one less minute is just as good. At least when a student asked to go to the bathroom, the teacher couldn't be like, you should have gone during passing period, because that wasn't enough time to go to the bathroom before going to class. The reason why they gave us only 3 minutes of passing period is because they wanted us to go straight to class, which I could sort of understand why, just a tiny bit, but it's pretty dumb for the reason. There was a lot of kids who would smoke in the bathrooms. So the school would just close off the restroom where they would smoke. Unfortunately, that doesn't stop students from smoking in the bathroom. There are other bathrooms that the students could have smoked in, and I know, the teachers can't just close off every bathroom and tell the students, if you want to go to the restroom, you have to go piss outside. But closing one restroom because it smells like weed isn't gonna change anything. The students are still gonna smoke. You're not fixing a problem. It's just an inconvenience. Now a student has to walk to a different restroom that could be further away from their class. And then the teacher is like, why did you take so long? Well, it's because they had to walk to a different hallway to go use a different bathroom because the one closest was closed. And I don't understand why kids would smoke in a school. You don't have to do it inside a public school building where the youngest children are 11 years old. But I don't promote smoking or any drugs. They don't make you cool. And I know you've heard this like a million times everywhere. But drugs harm you. People actually die from it. And it scares me how many kids are able to get their hands on drugs in the 7th grade. You're smoking in middle school. You're 12 years old. How are you getting those things? Thank you so much for watching. I plan on making a few more story time videos, but as you can see, I can't draw, so I hope you don't mind my bad drawings. Goodbye, my lovely people.